Does anyone know about this already? It's human design is what it comes from. I can go into it all again, but he went from a generator. We'll get into some specifics that he went, and now he's a manifesting generator. And you'll see that when he was born, he had this only one center. So these are our chakras, okay? This is our design. This is our crown, our ajna, third eye, throat, our G center, identity, heart, sacral, root, solar plexus, which is our emotional center, and then our spleen, which is our fears and intuition. And so all the colored ones are where he is defined, and those he came in with a consistent access to that energy. And so he had one open center, and it's fully open. So he has no active gates, which is meaning he's absorbing that from others. So his identity center, like it was pretty fluid at that time. He was kind of going with, and he can speak to that too. And then the change from that to his eternalization, where, okay, baby. Where now he's fully undefined in the crown. Okay, bye, baby. I'm on a call. Please go. Thank you.
It's because you're on.
Exactly. That's it. And then I had all of them, both kids, their dad. I'm like, hi. Okay. So here is where he now has a fully undefined crown. So he is free of the mental pressure. So if I go back a little bit, our crown and our root are our two pressure centers. And now he's free of that mental pressure. He's also now undefined in the ajna, and that's where everything's flowing through. It's our processing center. So he's got this be easier reading people more. I'm fully open in this center as well, and that's the one that.
I can actually speak to that because when I came back with this new design, it was all I could do to not see what you're thinking, right? Not like walking down the street, it's like, oh my goodness, like I would walk right past because sometimes I didn't want to. And Beth, this was when I was living in the West End of Vancouver, which is a very populated area. That area of North America is one of the most densely populated areas in North America. But so I can honestly say, Beth, that when I came back, I was aware. I had a greater awareness of people that I did not have before, because everybody knows that I was as left-brained as one could be and focused in a certain direction. And I guess you could say that I was just focused on what it is that I was doing. I'm sorry, someone's got their volume on there. If everyone just wouldn't mind just turning that off. Okay.
Do you? No.
So,
Can you mute them from your side, JC? Don't you have?
Pardon me?
Can't you mute them from your side?
Can I?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know how to do that. I don't.
So if you hover over them, there should be little dots.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
Do you have that option to mute?
It looks like okay. I think we're good.
Cool.
Okay, so anyways, what I was definitely that was one thing that I definitely noticed when I came back was that I had the ability to kind of see and understand and where people were at, and that I absolutely did not have before, because I was just focused in my realm of doing science, right? And that was what the stuff was. So yeah, and my crown being clear, like, could it be said that fear had left?
Well, we could go deeper into it, and there's certain gates that are specifically towards fear, yes, but also the spleen is a lot of the fear center. Let me see what you were before. Yeah, and I to go into that here.
How did you find what you were before or after?
It's all based on your birth date, and where you were born. So it's a lot like astrology, and it has that weaved into it. But it's your birth. So when you look at this chart with these numbers, so you have a conscious side and a subconscious side, and these are all the planets. So just like in astrology, where there's a planet in each position at the time, and then those correlate to the gates, and it's a specific energy. So, and then there's a list of what each one means, and it goes into each deeper, and then you've got the numbers on the end, and those are the profiles. And so that's another, he's a 1-3, is eternalized, and then prior he's a 4-6. So the very social, this is called the opportunist and the system, but it's like the social person. Everything comes to them through their connections, very people person. And then the 6 is the role model, and then you look at the incarnation cross as well, where he was the right angle cross of rulership, and went his eternalized right angle cross service. And you can kind of see from the titles where it's headed. We could go deeper into it, but which JC and I have, and it's
So Beth, if and you're the expert with this, what percent of shift would you say that I transitioned into, that my energetic timelessness blueprint?
Yeah, you can't really calculate like that, because for one, there's no like scale of good to bad, right? Nothing is higher or lower. Or if it's open, undefined, or defined, doesn't mean good or bad, right? It's just perspective, and it's all in what we came here to learn specifically in this lifetime, right? So it's all weaved in with our purpose, and
Right.
and so it does give you a snapshot, and that's the cool thing, is that at your eternalization, you're getting a snapshot of your divine design again, right? Of where you're
my transformation,
right.
if you like, of my timeless
Right.
design.
And it's just kind of like proof is in the pudding, and it's like, you can't make this shit up, pardon me, but like I have never done a blueprint on someone that hasn't resonated. And so it's just like, I don't know, it's amazing.
What have been some of the profound shifts that, Beth, you have seen in people's lives when they've had their soul blueprint done?
Well, let's see. I'm a generator myself, and that's about 60% of the population. And we have the sacral energy, so we're defined in the sacral center, and that is our life force energy. And so, but I also have a lot of projectors in my life, and the projectors are our guides, and they're they see things that are going on all the time. Like, so my mom's a projector, my boyfriend's a projector, my best friend's a projector, and at any time I might not be paying attention because I'm so busy in my flow or something, and I'll look at him and say, what did he say were the directions? And my boyfriend has picked it up, because he's always observing, picking things, right? But he needs, as a projector, needs an invitation into something. Can't just like bust in and like, this is what I think. And then, no, they need when an invitation is given to them, then that's when it's like that's their time to go. And so it's changed, I've seen a change in my boyfriend's life, just having that awareness that this is, I can see these things in him too, and how he fits that. And he had no idea that that was his design. He was designed that way, right? And he also is a self-projected projector. So we all have an authority. And so JC's here, I think his states, he was emotional, and then at his internalization is sacral. And so sacral, I'm sacral authority, and that's where we get these gut instincts. Decision making is like that first gut instinct is the one to follow, not the logical mind that comes next. But before, you were emotional authority. So you likely experienced waves of emotions, and you don't want to make a decision while you're on a high or a low of that wave. And my son is an emotional manifesting generator. But my daughter, who's almost 15, she's like me with an open solar plexus. So she's absorbing all the emotional energy around her and like, what does they think about me? Not knowing what's her energy and theirs. And my son is on these waves of emotion, and I can just see it so clearly. So I have to tend to them a little differently, right? And more, specific, because we're all designed a little differently. So we all need a little bit different approach, and so I don't know how your authority now, JC, with the emotional that'd be something I'd like to hear more about at some point, but seeing the change in people, it's across the board. Let's see. My mom is a splenic projector, so that means her spleen is her authority. It's and that's our fears and intuition. She's always been very psychic my whole life, but my brother and sister and I would be like, haha, mom thinks she knows everything. And then I start doing these, and I'm like, oh, she really is a little bit more psychic than everybody else, because that is how the decision making comes in for a splenic projector. They get more instant hits of vision or feeling.
Beautiful. And Beth, I know we were talking about before that the soul blueprinting isn't just for us, is it? You've worked with people in relationships and
I do composite charts all the time.
In family situations,
families with children,
employment situations, helping employers find the right people, and
right, so, with a group of in an office or something. I've done the different core people, and it's like you think about it's how our energy is interacting with each other, and then some of us have gifts over here while others, these are our gifts, so we can kind of play on that. And I take in information like this, they take in information like this, process it a little differently.
Right.
It's helpful.
Beautiful. Now I just wondered, does anybody have any questions for Beth about yourself, as questions that you may have about yourself, and to ask Beth to,
or about how this works,
to see if anything that you've often wondered about, is it possible to see through?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I just want to open it up and see if anyone has any questions.
Yes, I have some questions.
Excellent. Hi, Stavette.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Hello there. Yes, I have some questions. First of all, when you have high energy and you sense negativity and negative energy, how is it that you block the energy so it don't transfer to you and you become an essence of what you're trying to help? Because often, sometimes you try to help people and you find yourself, you're like, gosh, I'm sad and I don't know why I'm sad. It's like it transfers. Because sometimes people will be in the midst of someone that's really negative and you try to help that individual, and it's like you could be like on cloud nine and all of a sudden you help them but hurt you. So it's like at some point, do you stop and say, you know what, it's time for me to take care of me. And, you know, because it's like it comes a time where you kind of like, you be like at 100% and you give so much of yourself, you have nothing to give. So do you stop, or do you kind of like just push through it, or do you do self-love, or do you just keep giving until you tap out? It's like, do you give till your sugar bowl has no more sugar?
Well, you know what's funny to me is that we usually always know, and I just heard you answer your own question, and that's the beautiful thing is that, and then yes and no, right? You're, you know, like, yeah, love yourself, because we think as empathic people, especially, I bet if I did your chart, you're gonna have an open solar plexus, but anyways, okay. We want to help other people, and it's like we are these givers and everything, but we forget about this person too. And this person needs to be taken care of first, right? We can't give the oxygen mask to someone else, right? So it is really like, and then we get kind of confused about like, what is loving myself? Like forever, I was like, what? Love myself? I don't know. What? I get pedicures, like I get massages sometimes, like, no. It's not, it's like saying yes when you mean yes and saying no when you mean no, but knowing if that's how you really feel, right? And so I was saying yes because that's what I thought they wanted me to say. I wanted to please people. I just wanted love and to be loved, but I wasn't giving myself that love first. And so people would walk all over me, right? And then I have boundaries, but it's like, it's hard to, you know, but no, you got to start having some real boundaries. And you can still love and extend that love with boundaries and protection, and coming here and having that intention of like, you know what, nothing outside of me has control over me.
That's we call it being in the eternal now, right? Just be in the eternal now, and Beth, if I wouldn't mind just adding on to what Stavette says or asked, with these charts, with our soul blueprint, our timeless essence of who we are when, not so much when we came in at birth, but now when we've had the eternalization begin, could knowing this help Stavette in those situations to know that giving too much is
well, yeah, if she
is
sees
in her
chart,
nature, and she needs to be aware
right.
of it, and
that's it, awareness. And you see that that's how you were designed. So you're designed to be that feeler and to feel everything, and you're supposed to, but not to where you want to feel. You shouldn't, like, okay, for me, my friend would be going through something like really traumatic, right? Well, it was like I was going through that traumatic thing. I'm at the courthouse with her. I'm like, this is taking over my life. Like, why am I so? But my kid, I still gotta cook dinner. Like, what am I doing? You know, but I'm fighting her battles, and it was like a light bulb. Like, oh my gosh, this isn't my battle to fight. I can be supportive. There's support, and then there's like me trying to, because I don't want to. It's something I'm escaping here, and I just need to come back here. And forever, I didn't want to come here. I was gonna run. I was running as fast as I could from here. You know, so
again, having correct me if I'm wrong here, Beth, but having our timeless blueprint, especially our eternalization blueprint of who we are, it's kind of like a GPS, isn't it? It's kind of like a God-given GPS,
yeah,
of our life, of who we are, of what we.
Who you are always
not only aware of, but what our gifts are. Yeah. It's kind of like the blueprint of energetic blueprint of who we are.
It is, and it's just unwinding all of the programming and conditioning we've taken on, and made the things that we're supposed to be using to our benefit, like feeling so much, or having, the programming makes us go away from it, and go into fear, and that's where the fear comes up, right?
I was just going to say that word. I was just going to remember what the soul blueprint is all about. It's about us resurrecting Eden through the elimination of fear, right? And so, and Beth again,
If you're absorbing people's stuff, if you're, you know, like if you're absorbing your clients, or I work in a school and there's a lot of kids that, you know, just walk in the building with all kinds of emotions going on. I asked Archangel Michael to take it off. And then I asked for the peace of Jesus and joy. And that usually, especially if I know it's not mine. You know, like there's no reason for me to be sad. Why am I sad?
Exactly.
That happens to me all the time. Why am I?
Exactly.
That's what I do. And it really does work.
You know, hi everyone. So how are you? We have this field guide, right, that we're utilizing with our clients, but we're also meant to use it with ourselves, like pausing, checking in with ourselves and peeking into where we are, what the energy is in our day and who we're connecting with. So when you're an empath, oftentimes you have, like she mentioned, an open solar plexus, or you're someone who, you know, maybe you're not following that your guide, your sacral center, if you're a generator, and you're going against that. And oftentimes you can't. It's like you're playing tennis without a racket. Like you cannot defend yourself against these things. But when you take the time to pause and remember that you are in eternal time, you are the main character in your story. And our soul blueprints help us to really understand how we're designed. And you won't feel like a passenger in a car that's going crazy. Because for one person, it may be taking charge, and for others, it may be sitting back, and someone else that might be observing. All these different gates that you're born with kind of tell you where you came into the world, where you have some flexibility and openness and vulnerabilities, and other things that are kind of closed and not open to negotiation. When you get the new blueprint, that's your new life that you can operate with. But all these different gates kind of tell you where you have some work to do. I just try my best to just keep checking in with myself, even if it's not just a midday peaking or morning peaking. Just always remembering that these experiences are meant for you to be able to manage these transits and things like that. And as you learn how you're designed, you won't have to worry about energy that people are giving to you, because they also have a design and they're working within their own timeline.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Shanda. And I like using the structure of a building. You know, like we are this finished product of a building, and you know, the soul blueprint is our energetic foundation of who we are, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Beth, but the eternalization blueprint is what's going to make that building that ideal, pristine, godlike everythingness that we're meant to be from a timelessness perspective. Things like the agelessness element, the physical element, the elimination of disease, the elimination of pain and stress. Like it's kind of like the building that was starting to deteriorate on the outside now starts to regain its perfection that God has predestined us to be. And so
And it's all perfect, even the one before.
It was exactly what it was meant to be. Absolutely. And so beautiful.
This is Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, I just really appreciate the conversation, and I have some thoughts. The first thing I was thinking is, this is the soul divine methodology that I've seen in astrology, the Enneagram, the Myers-Briggs test, sort of like what they're trying to do. The essence of it is in this, right? And my experience with sort of the boundaries is that I have a lot of daily practice. I'm a therapist by trade, but mindfulness meditation teacher. And so I think my daily practices and connection with the divine, and knowing that I don't have to do anything to be who I am, and that the person in front of me that is energetically draining me or could drain me is suffering just like I've suffered. And so that assists me in creating, it's not even a boundary, it's more that there's a connection that's already there. And I'm the only one that can obstruct that connection. So my basic assumption is we're already divinely connected in every moment. And so I think the thing that assists me the most to deal with that kind of energy is just that I'm the only one that can obstruct the connection that's already there. And so the more I get from the divine and God, the easier it is and the less fear there is to deal with anything like that. So that's just an observation.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chuck. That was great. That was great.
Hi, JC. This is Brittany. Can I add something to that?
Absolutely. Please do, Brittany.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm off camera. I'm not feeling very well, but I wanted to join in. And actually, I had a similar experience where there was one point in my marriage where, you know, there were days I would be very high vibrational, very excited, and then, you know, I would come home and it was like those days where I was very high vibrational, you know, my husband would see it. It was like, you know, and it was not him, it was more so the energy, and it was teaching me a lesson, right? Like his energy would want to bring mine down. And this could be an example with a coworker or a friend or just, you know, strangers we meet or people we work with. But what I realized was it was pushing me to set that energetic barrier, right? Protect my energy every day. So as I started that ritual, which would be similar to someone else that spoke, calling in Archangel Michael and really envisioning and asking for a bubble of white light protection around my energetic field, I started to notice a difference. So when I took that sovereignty back, that power, and really started protecting my energy daily as kind of an energetic hygiene, then I noticed that it didn't actually affect my vibration any longer. So my awareness of it really helped. But that's a practice that I did, and I really started to notice as I stuck to it, that, you know, that external energy no longer was able to affect my own. And I'm not sure if it was the awareness, but it's something that I still do every day and makes a huge difference with everyone that I interact with. And I'm highly empathetic, so that's probably
It's good you're doing that.
yeah, exactly. It's probably one of the reasons
I
it's
think if
helping.
your heart is really open too, you know, if your heart is really open, you're absorbing a lot of people's stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely. Energy.
But yeah, you're gonna absorb, and anytime you're in a field with someone else, you're taking and receiving, you're sending, you know, energy back and forth. And so that's when we do the composite charts over each other too. You get to see that the energy blending, and so you'll see on some of these where he has hanging gates, they're only half colored. He could be with someone else, a partner or a friend, and maybe speak a little bit different. You know, we do that with people. We get a different energy with someone we're around versus this other person. It's because we're connecting gates of different energy, and we're adding and taking away from each other. You know, it's all an energetic dance.
So you're saying that every conversation that we have with people, the words that are given to us are an energetic dance.
Everything is
energy.
Not just the words.
Everything.
Everything.
Before the words come, even that energy is already.
Before the words come.
Absolutely, and you know, when I'm involved in peaking, and I'm sure others are find this as well. When you're peaking with people, the words that are being spoke to you from God to whoever it is that you're speaking with, but then God is speaking through you to give the words to connect that timelessness stream. So it is the most profound ever. And so that's what we're doing. That's what
To me,
we're
when I'm
doing.
in the flow with doing someone's chart, I'll be like, where did that come from? I don't even know if I knew that. Like, it just starts.
It just starts happening. Yeah.
And because I'm in my joy, I am in my. It's what's bringing me joy, So I am just open to source.
Well, and that statement right there, Beth, is really, really important. To be open to source, and not only to receive it, like literally when we're doing the peaking, this is coaching from God. Those peaking moments that you have are God speaking to you to increase the evolution of your perception into the totality of everything, right? And that's what they are all about, and that's what's happening right now in time. That's why the frequency of God is now in our universe, and all of this is being put together. And as you know, there's a big picture for that. When 144,000 people on the planet become the totality of this, quantify everything through the gifting that comes back to you. That's the first time that God is ever going to be quantified. But that's when this dark force energy of fear that has been in this world to humanity ever since the garden and the fall in the garden, right up until now, that's when it disappears. And now I'm gonna equate that to my experience. When that disappears from our universe, we're the only universe that is in this fear mode. Every other parallel universe that make up the multiverse body are the totality of God's bliss. That's why black holes are around our universe right now, to keep this fear-based energy in so it doesn't release. But when the 144,000, the predestined ones that are going to be coming forth as they are, when they come forth, that's when our universe becomes one with that totality of everything that bliss is. And I can't wait till you get there, because that's where I was when I wasn't here. That's what life is all about. And we become the totality of it all, which is the resurrected Eden, which is that river of life within the resurrected Eden, which is the divine Jesus that God made. Okay, God is three elements. It's a male, it's a female, and the reason why the male exists is to create every thought, every action, every event, everywhere. Why? To physically create itself. And where did it do it? Within its womb, within itself. And so soul blueprinting is such an important element for people who may not be able to see, and from the peaking itself, they're gonna obviously see the gifting comes back from the abundance. But this is undeniable of who they are, right? This is an undeniable.
Giving them a picture of like,
your
and then it's like, oh, yeah, I get that. That's okay. That makes sense. And then you just start like everything, changes.
Exactly.
So, is this a different birth date then?
Yes. This is the moment, Cherry, when you made, and you were so incredible because you did this twice. Cherry was so excited when she came in. She didn't make one payment; she made two payments at the same time.
I did. I made two.
And so whatever when that time was, Cherry, and we have the date and time, the location. That's when your new eternalization blueprint is made.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's when it's made. Just like it was for me. See this on the screen here, June 25th, 1996 at 14:20 p.m. That's when I was dead. That's when I was dead. That's when my eternalization began, right there. And so for the last almost 30 years, this has been my new soul plan. This is my born again self. Right? This is the absolute born again that allows us to grow into that totality of everything that God is, from a consciousness perspective, from a physical perspective, from an emotional perspective, a relationship, from every aspect. This is the eternalization birth date is really important because that's our born again moment.
Yeah. That's what that would be my question. Hold on. Is it fair to use the word rebirth? And is it unique? Is it
Yes.
unique? Is it one time? Or
Yes.
each time we're doing a picking, I think it's a form of rebirth, at least symbolically,
Yes.
because we're fully in the presence of God.
Yes, absolutely. This is the new timeless blueprint that God has predestined us to be. Predestined us, right? The moment that you all came on board, that's the moment that it happened, and that's the moment. And you know, Beth, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but this new soul blueprint would also allow us to understand how, moving forward relationally, we're going to impact and be involved with others, would it not?
Oh yeah, it tells us so much. I mean, like I said, each gate is a different energy, and then like I said with the composites and how the energies blend together. But yeah, it tells so much. It goes into our like cognition, and that's kind of like your gift, superpower, so to speak. Not a superpower, sorry, but mine's touch. So it's like that. I have a thing with my hands that I always have, and so, but there are many other elements to it, is what I'm trying to say. So before I go off on a tangent.
And Beth, as we move together as a group, as we are resurrecting Eden, things are going to come up for people, aren't they? That they may have questions about, and
Absolutely.
be able to talk with you about it and see.
I'd love to. I mean, this is what lights me up, like to help someone see how they were designed. It brings me so much joy, because then they get to piece together and accept themselves exactly how they are, exactly in that moment, exactly how they are, and accept all the prior versions.
Right, which is an element of eternalization. It being in that eternal now, right, and growing into that perfection, and knowing who you are is a big start. But there will be times for us all when things may come up, right, and collectively as we group together, as you expand your practice as a group, we're going to be able to support each other, and literally from the energetic perspective of what God is divinely giving to us right now in this timelessness. Remember, it's all about moving time into timelessness, right? Which in God's predestined plan, this has already happened. But I don't know if I've made you aware of the significance of this, what this simulation of time that's going on now in the cosmic timelessness courtroom. This right here, us being here, and every person in the world with every thought, every action, every event that's happened everywhere, this is what is being played out in the cosmic timelessness trial right now, and is for the very first time, as of January 1 of this year, is when God's frequency entered our universe, and its dwelling place is in our church. And so I want to encourage everyone, like I've done with Beth here, is to if it resonates with you, of course, to have your soul blueprint done, and as you are moving forward in your life, do it with and understand it from that timelessness perspective that God has given it to us, especially since all of us now have been in that reborn phase of had our eternalization birthday started. And so I'll be able to send out Beth's information to you to do that, but I would strongly recommend it. And as we were talking earlier, it's just not for us right now. This is for everybody in the relationship that you have, if it be marriage or children or family or friends, or even from a business perspective. They're just are no limits to understanding how God has blueprinted us to be, right? Think of what the world would be if I don't know of any wars that are going on. Well, there's many wars going on, but imagine what it would be like if two people that are in a battle right now are put down whatever they needed to put down, their guns or whatever, and said, "Whoa, you're like that. Oh, I'm like this, right?" It would just change everything, right? And that's what it's all about. It's about introducing God into us all. We are all God, but introducing it so that we know it and we become it. It's about us evolving into the totality of everything that God was. When Jesus was in the manger, he wasn't just in the manger. He was one with the totality of that timelessness that I had the still is, right? And time, our universe in time, it is in timelessness. It is like a drop of water in the ocean of timelessness, but it's not of timelessness. In other words, we are not of that bliss that everything that God is in. For us all to learn and to walk our life around in an aspect of eternalization after the abundance element through the peaking that we're all doing right now. And so does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful.
I wonder how many, okay, I guess I wonder, I mean, you had a near-death experience, and some people do, and then kind of come to this realization.
Well, that's the goal, Jerry. That's why near-death experiences happen. No, I'm not going to bring a chainsaw to our next live meeting. so no, and that is so true. And I've had the opportunity to present at many near-death experiences annual conventions, and every single one person that I talk to know that they had their near-death experience to change their life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the reason it happened. Like everybody is going down this path, and I remember there was this one when I was speaking at a consciousness convention in Los Angeles, and this one guy was almost bragging that, I've had 7 near-death experiences, and I'm like, and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking to myself, man, you've got to learn what these things are all about, right? Like you don't need to have 7 of them, right? Or
maybe they do.
Maybe they do, but anyways, near-death experiences happen for us to understand what our true purpose was.
But I think what Sherry's saying is that we don't have to have a near-death experience to have our eternalization chart done, right? Because we all have a moment. Is that what you were getting to?
We're not all gonna have that experience, probably.
No, I hadn't.
But you have had that. But so thanks for straightening that out, Beth. But Sherry, you have had that experience. Thank you, Chandra. It's the date, time, and location that you joined the church, that you made your first donation. That's your internalization birthday right there. Okay. That's your.
So, JC, do you remember you explained it to me? How you explained it to me was that when you make the decision to meet your higher self, like when you make the decision to be a part of this mission, it's a mindset shift. Yeah. By making that donation, that is what signifies the change.
Absolutely, and it's
and
at
maybe
that
someone
moment,
else.
It's at that moment that fear is put on notice and it starts to eliminate. The moment that anybody makes that donation is when they have physically shown to the dark force the side they're on, because fear is inner consciousness, but it's so much more difficult to release from our subconsciousness. The subconsciousness is the aspect of our mind that doesn't want to let you go, because the moment it lets you go in this cosmic trial, you have shifted from the prosecution side, who's had 6,000 years of controlling us, to the defensive side, right? And that's what the defense doesn't want. That's what the dark force is trying to not have happen. But the minute that you make that eternalization payment, boom, it's game over. It's game over. Fear is, it's fear that no longer has the control that it once had over us, because our new eternalization birthday soul blueprinting chart is who we have now become.
Then I'm also wondering how many people are RH negative, and if that figures into your soul blueprint. Because that seems to make you really different. I can say that.
What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about yourself?
I am RH negative.
I am too. Oh, negative.
Okay,
But no,
yeah.
it's
I'm
not.
all
I mean,
yeah.
we special, bro.
Yeah,
We're all special. Come on, so
We're all-
doesn't have.
everyone has a soul blueprint, but I don't think everybody's RH negative.
You're either
right?
RH negative or RH positive.
Yeah.
That was
And that, you can go down a whole rabbit hole of that. I have.
Yeah, I know. That's what I think too.
Yeah, Beth, I'm sure that you can get many layers deep with this.
I've
Well,
been
that was
on.
the first. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, that's the reason why I had said it originally about the energy, is that when you're true to yourself and you're honest with yourself and say, okay, this is who I am. And then when you're honest with yourself and you say, okay, this is my energy, this is my blueprint. And when you're honest with yourself, and that's the reason why I said it originally, when you meet a person and you connect and you say, I already know. And then when you're already honest with yourself and you say, okay, I need this kind of energy because I want to project this kind of energy. So if I'm a positive person, then my goal is to get you to become similar to me or have some type of trait, 10%, 20%. I want to impact you in some kind of way. But when you're honest with yourself and you say, ooh, I got some negative energy, or I'm not the fullest expression of myself, it's like you don't have anything to give. Because if you're at a 50% capacity and you're trying to give me 20% of what you don't have, then it's like you are all-time low. So it's something to think about, connecting with other people. It's like, this group is healthy for me, it's wholesome for me, because it's a lot of positive energy. And I think that's really important, regardless of where you are and what stage you are, is to be amidst a whole lot of positive people that have kinetic energy that's stronger than yourself. And because you can't be nothing but the product of your environment, the product of what you connected. Because it's like you got 10 people in the group and it's like one negative energy. You're not gonna be negative too long. It's like you're gonna blow up.
Yeah, but that's it. It's like, I am you and you are me, and we're all the same at the core, right? And
But I
having
believe
that.
in change. I believe in change, because you gotta want it. You gotta want it in your brain. You gotta want it as you want to eat. You gotta want it.
You
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
my experience, I had a near-death experience. I was sharing this with JC when we had our first conversation.
Yeah.
And, it changed me, but it didn't change me right away. Oh, I had the divine in me. I was working on it for many years, and I had this near-death experience, and I evolved into where I am now. I evolved into it with God and with my daily practices. I got more committed and disciplined. I became more committed and disciplined, and I had been before, but not at that level. And so for me, it just kind of, it happened, and I couldn't tell you. I like my birthday for this, in my opinion, is before I signed up. I don't know when it was. All I know is I have very little fear of anything. And that's from my evolution, partially from my near-death experience. That's just my experience. So I think it's different. You know, it works different, but it's sort of the same result.
Well, I agree, because even if someone else has another date that is more profound for them, and like if your date doesn't feel like the date you signed up, I feel like you should honor whatever is, because it's like when when you shifted, when something totally shifted in you, right? And it's even still, it's going to show, because we're always evolving. And the cosmos are always moving, right? And we're always shifting. Our blueprint is shifting, you know? So we never stay the same. We continually.
But I can't not relate to what we talk about. It's like that's where I live. That's where I've been living. So, you know, it does more than even resonate. You know, it's a vibration and a frequency that I'm very familiar with.
It's a knowing, isn't it, Chuck?
Yeah.
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 It's an absolute knowing.
It's kind of like there's no fear, no doubt.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's like loneliness and boredom haven't existed for me for many years. Yeah. And it's because of my connection with the divine. I'm a therapist.
And with yourself, right? Yeah, because you love being with yourself now, right?
Yeah.
Me too. I didn't want to be with myself for anything for many years.
I
now
teach meditation. I teach meditation. And the reason why people don't want to meditate, two reasons. Their mind races, right? That's why you meditate, so you can calm your mind. And then they don't want to really sit still and get to know what's really who they are.
Right, it's all the distractions. It's been said very perfectly.
And what is that one word? Fear.
Yeah.
Right? It's fear.
Well, or you fall asleep.
And that's what it's all about, is eliminating that fear. And so, well, guys, it's an hour, and I promise to go to an hour. I know some of you are on the East Coast, and I know it's late, and I know Hava, you're over in Hawaii, so you're just going out for your dinner now, and so I want to thank everybody for being here, but I also want to say a few things as we close here, that the foundation of the church is growing like day by day. There's so many people coming on. We just had a doctor from Africa just come on today, and so as this shift moves out quickly or faster and faster, there needs to be, from our perspective, more of a foundation in place for all of us, and Beth is also helping us put that together within Sling, within that CRM that we have, where we're going to have a place where we can come together as a group. We're going to have a lot of the documents that I put together, and a lot of the blueprints, so that you can always access and be part of. But a big part of it will be the community that we're going to be developing here, and that's in the process of happening right now. And so before I close, I just want to make sure that everybody has had a chance to ask their piece, to say their piece. Does anybody else have anything that you want to
May I, JC? It's Ahava. I have a question.
Hey, Ahava.
Hey, good to see you guys. For Bethany, what part of the country is she in? And do you book private appointments? How does this work? This is all kind of new, so I wasn't sure how it works. Or do we book a private appointment with her, or how does that work?
Yeah. Beth and I are just finalizing that now, putting that together, where you would meet with her, give your initial birth date and the internalization birth date. Beth would draw this report together and have at least an hour consultation with you on that to help you through not only who you are, but also any pressing circumstances that are happening in your life as well. And I know, Beth, you've had a chance to work with people who are in situations with their family or work or whatever. And so, yes, but that's how it works.
That'd be
That's how it
great.
works.
And what part of the country is she in?
California.
Beth lives in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Santa Barbara. Okay. I'm in Hawaii, Beth.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
would
wait,
love to
Beth.
talk to you. So are you gonna give her phone number out? Or how's that gonna work, JC?
This is great. What would be the best way how would you like to receive Beth's information?
Well, you can either give me the phone number and everybody can write it down, or you can text
Yeah,
it to
well,
me.
Well, JC, aren't you gonna send out something and they can?
Yeah, I was
You're
I was
welcome to give them-
gonna send out information.
Yeah, I think that would be
It's
best.
how to
And then y'all can
contact
just
Beth
sign
with
up
your
from there.
information. Then, do you have a calendar link set up yet, Beth?
No, but I'm gonna get it set up, and that's I had emailed Cynthia, and so
Okay,
I'm figuring out getting logged in.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to get your calendar link set up.
I'll do that.
In the meantime, I will give, yeah, let's get your calendar link set up because I think you're doing
Yeah,
that
that's
next
what we
day or
need,
two,
yeah.
right? And
Yep.
then I can send out your calendar link for people. And then
That'd be great.
and then they can contact you. And so beautiful, everybody. Well, thank you very much. I want to make sure I've got all the questions. Okay, good. So I'm going to stop the recording now. Yay, I remembered it.
Recording stopped.
Okay, so I will be sending this out to you either tonight or tomorrow. And Beth, when are you meeting with Cynthia on that?
Oh, I emailed her, so she might have already emailed me back, or
Okay.
yeah. So as soon as I get in there, I'll set up the calendar and then I'll send it to you.
Yeah, and then
send it
give
out.
me your link and we'll send that out to everybody. I know we're going to have that on the website as well fairly shortly too. So beautiful. Excellent, guys. Well, thank you very much. This has been great. I love it when you guys are doing all the talking. that takes a lot of pressure off myself. So, anyways, it was very nice meeting so many of you for the very first time, and welcome aboard. And let's go, Team God.
Yeah,
Yes.
hallelujah,
Bye.
hallelujah. Nice
Thank
meeting you
you.
guys. Peace and love,
All right,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye.
Okay, good night.
Aloha.
Everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.